You're listening to the Secret Muse Society, where we pull out the things we keep hidden about ourselves. What are the secrets that actually hold us back from the connection we crave? And what happens when we tap into the inspiration we have to offer the world? I'm your host, authenticity coach Karen Choi. Let's dive in together. She says, hello, you fool, I love you. Come on, join the joyride. Join the joyride. I have been dying to sing that song. It has been stuck in my head. Shout out to Roxette and the Joyride. My friends, welcome back to the Secret Muse Society podcast. This is episode 34. And if you are stuck in a creative rut, if you want to create and think you can't because you aren't a creative or aren't creative, or if you just want to be magical, or maybe you are craving something, but you just can't taste or touch or describe what it is, and you're looking for it. This episode is for you. The title is Create to Connect, and it is inspired by a quote that I read on Instagram, one of my favorite places to hang out for inspiration. There are so many muses there. And these words are by a creator named Amy McNee. Her Instagram account is @inspired2write. And her account is full of her words, her ideas, written on like a scrapbook kind of format. And she takes pictures of them. And there's just something so special about seeing somebody's handwriting in a photo and reading it. There's so much energy behind it. And I don't know, I just love it. There's something about it that's different than watching a video or even hearing somebody's voice when you can read it for yourself, but still kind of take in the character of somebody's handwriting. I don't know. Do you feel this way too when you see somebody's handwriting? You connect with something different than a face or a voice. It's like their soul in a way. It is their art. It is how their hand writes. Oh my gosh, can I just take a moment to share with you another quote? This is a little bit of a detour. But welcome to the Secret Muse Society. If you've been listening for a while, you know I detour all the time. Can I please share with you this quote that I just love? And I'm just seeing it connecting to so many things in so many different ways. And it's by the painter Paul Klee. And he says that a line is a dot that went for a walk. A line is a dot that went for a walk. And when I think about how handwriting is so unique to each of us, each individual, it just starts with a dot, and a dot turns into lines, and these lines become like music on paper when you read it and you hear it and you experience it. So that's how I feel about handwriting. I love handwriting notes, and I think maybe it's not a dying thing. Maybe we just need to see it more often. It's like so tactile, the feeling of holding a pen and the vibration of it when it's scribbling on a piece of paper, and like the different types of pens, ink pens, ballpoint pens, and the different kinds of paper, like cheap paper, newsprint, really beautiful notebook paper, which I just love in my own notebook, or even like writing on watercolor paper that has its own kind of texture and feel to it. It's kind of grittier. You feel like the ink sticks to the paper more. So I digress. But yes, Amy McNee, she writes with her own handwriting these words. Please listen. Artists are not like athletes. We cannot win gold. We cannot beat other creatives, and we cannot come first. Sport is objective. Our craft is subjective. Creating to be the best is a waste of energy. Instead, create to connect to the people who need you because they're out there. Create in your way because there is no right way. Take the pressure off and focus on your unique brand of magic. My friends, energy flows where energy goes. What were the words that stood out to you from that quote? For me, it is create to connect. Create to connect to the people who need you. That might be your family, the people you love, your community, your coworkers, a stranger. Create to connect to the people who need you could also be you. I talk a lot about self-care and self-love being the source of everything that we want to create in this world. And so create to you because you need you. Create to connect to what you need. This episode, I want to just expand on the idea of creating to connect and how, in my opinion, I think it is the most perfect intention we could have for any day, any project, any moment that we want to make meaningful and special and true. And I don't know about you, but I am on this journey to, my intention is to create as much intention as much as possible, like from a macro to a micro level, like from my years and my life, but also to like every second and minute. If I could share a quick story about what I did with my kids today, I'm kind of on this cleaning purge in my home. I don't know if it is Virgo season that has like given me this boost of energy and focus and just need to organize and declutter my home. But I have been on a tear, throwing out the old to make room for the new, which includes like clothing. Clothing is one of the greatest blessings that we can express ourselves with our clothing, but also there's so much laundry and so much to fold and so much to organize and manage. I find it all very overwhelming. And so I've been on this hunt to really find better solutions for organizing my kids' clothing, which means I've been taking a lot of trips to IKEA. And this summertime, at the time of this recording, the kids have been home with me every single day of the week, and I am looking forward to them going back to school. And it is a lot of time, but at the same time, I know that we don't have a lot of summers together. Like, if you think about it, our kids, like, I don't know about you, those of you who listen with teenage kids, but like, for how many summers do our kids actually want to hang out with us? I'm hoping that my kids will want to hang out with me for a long time, but I'm guessing like by 16, 14, 15, 16, they're going to want to go out with their friends in the summertime. And so if you think about it, you really only have 14 summers to hang out with your kids. Okay, so I'm going to do some math on the spot, but 14 times, I guess, 8 weeks. Okay, let's say 14 times 2 months is 28. So 28 months that we get to hang out and enjoy summer with our kids. I mean, think about it. That's not a lot of time, like over a grand lifetime. 28 months is just 2 years and a bit. 2 years and a bit of summertime. I mean, summertime is some of the best times. So why do I want to rush it? I don't. Anyway, but in all humanity, in humanness, in my own human motherness, I get tired of hanging out with my kids all day. They tire me out, and I just need moments of silence so I can have complete thoughts and I just like my alone time. So I needed to go to IKEA to get some dressers, and I thought I would make a trip by myself after dinner. And I told them I was going to go by myself, Etta and Una, they insisted. They wanted to come with me. Etta loves nighttime adventures. To her, nighttime adventure is anything going out after dinner. And she's just so excited. And I just thought, well, I'm so lucky that these little people want to hang out with me. And I love hanging out with them too. So I said, okay, come on. Begrudgingly a little bit. Honestly, I was kind of grudging it. But once we got into the car and Etta said, Mommy, can you turn the music down so I can hear myself sing? I just thought that's so cute. And we just like sang with each other in the car. And it ended up being a really fun night at IKEA, believe it or not. And after we picked up our drawers, we were wheeling the stuff back to the car. And the girls actually helped me pick up these heavy flat lay dressers and boxes and put them on the cart and load them onto the car. And while we were getting to the car, we parked on the upper level of the parking lot, which there was nobody parking there. And I was just like freewheeling, all over the parking lot. And I just saw their eyes light up and their faces, their big smiles come, and they're like, yeah, they just felt so free as we were like carting through the empty parking lot. It was so much fun. And it was nighttime. The moon was shining. The clouds were, well, the sun was still kind of setting. So the clouds were kind of like that pink, dusty purple, and the sky was dark. And it was just so perfect. They were laughing, and Una was pushing Etta, and she was just like Rose on the Titanic. Oh, it was such an amazing moment. And so that is an example of creating to connect in like the smallest moment where you can just achieve like the greatest bliss, the highest of happiness. Like I can't say that I could be any happier in that moment. It was just so much fun, so much joy with my two girls. And so coming back to creating to connect in the smallest ways, in the massivest ways. Like I always like to think of like a micro to macro level. I believe that intention is everything. Just imagine a world in which we all create to connect. And in a way we do, right? I believe that the intention is there. Most things start with the intention to connect. If we think about the products or the services that are made and sold to us out there in the world, it always starts with connecting with another person's pain and wanting to solve a problem or offer a solution that relieves their suffering, right? And that intention is to create something, to connect with someone, always seems to be the seed. And then, it just kind of grows and snowballs, and capitalism gets in the way, and bottom lines become more important, and figuring out what is the right way, or what is the right way to do it faster and to save more money so that we can make more money. What is the right way to do it so that we don't offend people? I guess that's the right way according to people pleasers, which I am a recovering people pleaser. Or what is the right way according to what other people think is the right way? And then all of this kind of muddies the original intention to create, to connect. And it gets changed into something that's like create to prove, or create to sell, or create to change, create to make money, create to control. And I just think that creating to connect is the root and the core of creation. So let's bring it back there, shall we? So chapter 1, everyone's an artist. Everyone creates. This is an important chapter because for those of you or for those of us, or if you think that you are not an artist because you're not a professional artist or you don't sell something that you make, doesn't make you an artist. Well, I want to say we are all artists. We all create. If you think about the meaning of the word, the definition of the word create, it is to bring something into existence. It is to cause something to happen as a result of one's actions. That is to create. We all create. We all bring something into existence, something from nothing, whether it is a conversation, perhaps it is a spreadsheet, perhaps it is a meal, perhaps it is a book, perhaps it is a poem, perhaps it is the way you make your bed, perhaps, we all bring something into existence. Mothers and fathers, parents, we bring children into existence. We bring life into existence. People who garden, you bring plant life and nature into existence. Those of you who are in tech, you create technology. You cause something to happen as a result of one's actions. We create when we drive and we say make a left turn. We create if we make a mistake. We create when we say something that makes somebody feel incredible. We create when we hurt somebody's feelings. We are all creators. As in coaching, it starts with that. We start with that assumption. You are creative, resourceful, and whole. Everyone is creative, resourceful, and whole. So everyone's an artist. Everyone creates. So what do you create and what do you want to create? That's the question I want to ask you. I create space for conversation. I create space for connection. I create space for discovery and exploration and surprises in my own life. I create without even thinking. This is the point. I create this podcast. We are creators. I think that we, as humanity, we have become so detached in a way from source, universe, God. Well, the creator that created us is the creator in us. And I believe that is part of human purpose, universal human creativity. We all have power to create art that brings change, that makes things better, that makes a difference in our lives, in the people's lives, in the world that we live in. We all create, and this is all our responsibility, and this is something that we all can own, and we all need to be accountable for what we create. Chapter 2. Who do you want to connect with? Or what do you want to connect with? I believe that connection is what we all want. If we hold anything in common with the people who we are so different from on the outside, on the inside, everybody just craves connection. Love is connection. Hate is connection. Hope is connection. Compassion, a vision for a future. This present moment is connection. We want to experience awe. That is connection. Laughter, that's connection. Crying is connection. You get my drift, right? We all want to connect. And what I said in the intro, if you're craving something, but you don't know what it is that you're craving, it might be connection. And so that's why I'm asking, who do you want to connect with? What do you want to connect with? And the connection is usually something that really matters to you. And this is a really beautiful part, is that when you think about our core values, it's sometimes hard to just, what do I value, But what do you want to connect with? That will lead you to what you value. That will lead you to what you need to align with in your life. Again, intention is everything. The definition of connect is to bring together or into contact, so that a real or notional link is established. To connect is to join together as to provide access and communication. This one was funny too. This definition is to connect is a link to a power or water supply. To me, that is like a power or water supply. That's energy. So what energy do you want to connect with? What do you need to be in contact with, to link to? What do you want to join together with? What do you want to communicate with? What do you want to communicate? Who do you want to communicate to? In my work as a coach, as a mom, as an arts marketer, as an advocate for artists and arts administrators, I connect with people, I connect with spirit, I connect with soul, I connect with music, I connect with nature, I connect with myself. I have to connect with myself in order to connect with all those things, right? Like connect is the link. So what are you linking? You're usually wanting to link ourself to something else. So you can't just connect with something else if you haven't connected with yourself. It's a two-part link. Links require two things. Are you seeing what I'm holding? I'm like holding my fingers in rings. What do you want to connect with? So when we think about, I want to create to connect, you want to create X to connect with X. For example, I create a podcast. I create conversation to connect with you, to connect with people, to connect with muses, to connect with inspiration, to connect with hearts. In a coaching conversation, we create space for conversation so that you can connect with yourself. You can connect with meaning. You can connect with purpose. You can connect with a vision of your future. You can connect with the present moment. You can connect with what you love, what energizes you. You can connect with a plan, an action. You can connect with your results, something to celebrate or something to learn from. What is it that you want to create so that you connect with what you want to connect with? Now, chapter 3, finally, create to connect. This is linking all three things together. Create because you are an artist and we need your art. Whatever it is that you create. And connect. We need your connection because on the other side of a link is another link wanting to connect with you as a link. I want to connect with you. You want to connect with someone else. You want to connect with me, maybe. And what is our art? What is it that we create? We create our lives. We create our authentic expressions of who we are. We create how we show up in conversation. We create by listening. We create by speaking. We create from a source that is our authentic selves. And I just don't want us to hide that. I want us to just be that, create to connect. Here are some examples of where I've been struggling to create. Number 1, I've been struggling to create creative solutions for you. I really want to create a group offering where like-hearted, open-hearted, open-minded. I don't want to say like because I think that open is more interesting and we can learn more from open-minded and open-hearted. So I want to create a group of open-minded and open-hearted people to come together, to support one another, to practice active listening, to practice holding space for ourselves and each other, to explore and to externally process. This is for external processors. But what's been holding me back from creating it is because I've been getting into this zone of like, oh, well, what's the right way to do it? Should I follow somebody else's proven way to do it? Oh, what is the wrong way? I want to avoid that. And really, made me lose sight of the whole purpose of creating a group in the first place, was that I wanted to connect with you, and I wanted people to connect with each other, and I wanted us to connect with these ideas and concepts and the present moment that we can apply to, the awareness and awe that we want to experience in our lives. All that right and wrong and should and must and mistakes and avoiding and procrastination and perfection, all that was getting in the way, when really you just have to dial back and remember that create to connect. That is the intention. It's the purest, most authentic, real place. And so if there's something going on for you where you are craving something and you realize it is connection, then I want you to think about, what can you create and what is that, so that you can connect with what is it that you need. Or if you're in a creative rut, think about, just dial back to, why are you creating in the first place? What is it that you wanted to connect with? Yes, we want to make money so that we can make a living to pay our bills, but I know that's not the ultimate driver, and it's not that motivating, but connection is so deep and so meaningful. And if you want to create something and yet you're stopping yourself because you think you can't create, or you think you can't because you aren't a creator, well, remind yourself that you are an artist. This is your life. Your life is art in action. When you create, you are creating art. You're creating something in this life that is experienced by others. And so I just want to encourage you, dear Muse, to create to connect. If this episode connects with you, please share it with a friend. From this episode on, we will be doing one episode a month. So there's lots of time to marinate with this idea. Send me a message on Instagram at KarenChoi.co, or you can send me an email, Karen@KarenChoi.co, if you prefer that. Let me know what you're thinking. What is it that you want to create? What or who is it that you want to connect to? Create to connect. If you are stuck in a rut, let's talk it through. I offer a free discovery call. I just want to connect with you. I want to create a space that is safe for you to show up as you are, as your whole self, and to feel like you can do anything, because I know you can, and I know you can create so much beauty and unconditional love. Connect with that spirit, and just spread that throughout the world. That's what I want to see and to feel and to hear. I love you, Muse. Thank you so much for listening. Join the joyride. Create to connect is the joyride. I love you. Thank you for listening to the Secret Muse Society. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you haven't yet, please go to Apple Podcasts to rate and review this podcast so other modern muses like you can find us too. I invite you to continue the conversation and connect with me on Instagram at KarenChoi.co. Join me next week for more secrets inspired by you. I'm Karen Choi. Until next time, stay gold.